Om Sadashivasamārambhā Shankaracharya Madhyamā Asmadacharya Paryantā Vande Guru Parampara Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Deva Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Sahana Bhavato Sahano Bhunakto Saviryam Karavavahi Tejasvinavadhitamastu Mahavidyushavaihi. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So, in the last class, we saw another beautiful example that the person wants to cross the river holding onto a crocodile, thinking that it is a log of wood. And of course, the consequences of it, you know better. So also, if the person is devoting oneself to beautify, to take care of one's own body, and so that the person will be able to understand one's own self, so that the person's self-confidence will increase. Like, you know, people, they say, no, I have to protect myself. I am busy in well-being. It's exactly like trying to cross the river, being on the back of crocodile, thinking that it is a log of wood. So why all these things are being taught? Because verse number 85, let us read so that it becomes easier. And it goes further and further. Moha eva maha mrityuhu mumukshor vapuradishu moho vinirjito yena samukti padamarhati. Says beautifully that moha eva maha mrityuhu, and for whom mumuksho. So if you are a mumukshu, so mumukshu means the one who is the seeker of mukti, liberation, the one who is desires of freedom. So mumuksho means for the seeker. So if you are a seeker, for you, says moha eva maha mrityuhu. So moha means what? Attachment, stickiness, infatuation, complete dependence. That is alone called mahamrityuhu. So mahamrityu means it's not a great death, it's a very unwanted death, uninvited death, unsolicited death, means tragic death. So there is nothing called great death, less death. Okay, death is death. Okay, but here is unwanted, unsolicited. So it becomes a tragic death. And of course, if this is the case, I would like to know this moha, this infatuation, complete dependence, attachment or stickiness. Now, with reference to what? It says, with reference to vapuradishu. So when a person is completely infatuated with reference to body, etc. So you can say body, mind, senses. So when the person is really completely dependent upon this, then definitely that person is going to have what? Or we're going to face tragic death, unwanted death. At least if it happens once, I can understand, okay? It will happen every now and then. It's exactly like the example we give, which is a very subjective example, but which I really like this example. In Indian case, which I have seen in front of my eyes many cases, many times. If a mother has lost the child, and that one child, because of the snake bite, and that mother, wherever sees a small rope, even if after a few years, is really starts screaming, assuming that maybe this is another snake. The trauma. So that means it's not only one time. This example will be seeing this verse, next verse, okay? It's coming. This example will come in the next verse. Just to give the example, like we have another also. If you have somehow managed accident, somehow narrow escape, what will happen for a few days? That trauma will hit you. Whenever that turning point comes or related to that comes, you get into really that mood, maybe again it will happen. Sometimes many people, I have also noticed, after one accident, they don't drive. In fact, they stop driving the car. However, so here he says, this is called Mahamrityu. That's why what you need to do? You need to binirjitaha. You need to grow out of it. You really need to conquer. You need to win over completely. Then only when you are able to win over the moha, the delusion, the attachment or the complete dependence, whoever is able to do this, by whom it is being done, that person alone, mukti padam arhati. That person is eligible, deserves the award of liberation. So that means liberating one's own self from one's own self. You understand? So I have to liberate myself from me. That means my sense of dependence only binds me. And why this sense of dependence comes? Okay, very easy, simple answer is what? Ignorance, okay? Remember one rule, okay? Any question comes in Vedanta, why it happened? Avidya. So the teacher has to give you mark, okay? Or sometimes Maya, okay? You have to be little bit careful. Avidya, Maya, remember these two words, okay? Avidya or Maya. So technically you are right, okay? But in reality you are not right. To answer others, yes, you are right. But to answer yourself, you are not right. Why? The reason is here. That this Maya, this moha, this attachment or the sense of dependence, definitely is because of avidya. Definitely, there is no doubt in it. But also I have added it. What about my effort? They say very beautifully. In Dharma Shastra it is being highlighted. That is what is lacking all over the world. that if a person does mistake, is as much as punishable. The one who is there keeps quiet also must be punishable. Because if everybody keeps quiet, definitely the person who wants to do mistake will be having more strength to make more mistakes. So we think, no, I am, so why I keep quiet? To protect myself, you understand? So if I am trying to protect myself, that means that I am also indirectly supporting. That's why we go one step ahead. Especially for sadhus, for sannyasis, for learned people, Brahmins also it was there earlier. If they keep quiet against injustice, they are supposed to be punished first. That's why in India, prior to Britishers, because after Britishers came, they destroyed everything. Mughals could not do that much. Any sadhu, of course Brahmins also was there, especially sadhu, sannyasi, can go to the king and say that king, you are wrong. And the king has no right, in fact has to listen to and has to take action. And whoever king has done mistake, this is the job of the sadhus. In fact, they say another story, which is how far it is true, we do not know. A lot of stories they add it. After India got so-called independence, when there was a person called Prime Minister, created a lot of nuisance during emergency time. So there was a Swamiji called Karapatri Maharaj. In fact, he went to the parliament, near the parliament gate, he shouted, time will come, you will see, your family will be completely ruined. So this was the cause of Karapatri Maharaj. How far it is true, let us not look at, because this is how the social media and other things everywhere is being projected now. So coming back to the point, that we need to put effort to make ourselves free from our sense of dependence. It is my habit. It is my habitual error that makes me to continue. And we have discussed in details why habitual error continues. In spite of my knowledge, mind loves to go for habitual error. Because in habitual error or following my habitual error, don't say practice, okay? Following habitual error, mind is not challenged. I am not challenged. Can you see this point? And whenever and wherever I am not challenged, I am happy. I am comfortable. So, in order to be comfortable, that too temporarily, I allow my sense of dependence to continue. Can you see this point? And as long as this sense of dependence continues, superficially, externally, I am happy, I am comfortable. But deep within, there is fear. Can you see this point? A person cannot walk freely. So the real freedom comes when you are as comfortable as with anybody, also you are as comfortable as with people. You are comfortable without anything, also you are comfortable with everything. That's why there are certain rules. For example, a king, those days it was there, nowadays of course nobody follows. A king cannot visit other kingdom without intimation or without any invitation. A country head cannot go to other country without invitation, okay? He has to create some occasion, okay? Some tie up something, the bilateral relationship and whatnot. And if a country head visits another country without any information, definitely that person is not going to be taken or will not going to be given importance either. So what I am highlighting here is how we create sense of dependence without our knowledge. So each action that we perform, we need to see the limitations behind it. How my action or activities leading to depend upon things, people more and more. That is the key point, that is the beauty one really has to look at. Then only the person will try to look at. And how? It says next verse. This goes on and on, okay? Moham jahi maha mrityum dehadara sutadisho yam jitva munayo yanti tad vishnu paramam padam. Moham jahi. So jahi means give up, grow out of. So what to do? From where? This is moham. So moham means again same dependence, the infatuation, stickiness, attachment, and which is called as again mahamrityum, a death which is really unwanted. Most frightening one. And he says earlier it was with reference to body. Now he brings very subjective, okay? Deha, he adds a little bit, okay? Deha dara sutadisu. Starting with reference to body. Because this was written by a man oriented, because Adi Shankaracharya, so that's why dara. Dara means wife. So if it is written by, of course, ladies, you can write, with reference to husband, okay? And comes sons, children. Now also we have to add students, okay? So all these things we have to add. There is no choice, okay? So that means very carefully that if the attachment or the sense of dependence, the delusion, that continues with reference to this body, and of course here why wife generally? Because the one who is next to the person all the time and supports all the time. That's why wife is being presented many ways in the scripture. Whether it is ritual, whether it is related to dharma, whether it is to take care of the family, whether to give mental support. For any time, the wife is next to the husband. We say very carefully, a silent supporter. But nowadays, making noise supporter, okay? So also, husband should be that way. That's why we say very carefully, both of them should complement to each other. Both of them should grow together, which is very rare. And how and why it happens? Because of prarabdha, please understand. We say, every man needs understanding wife. every wife needs supporting husband. Two things, please remember. Every man needs understanding wife. Every woman needs supporting husband. But the problem is, every man thinks, my wife must understand me. You understand? Why wife should understand you? Wife expects you to support. Can you see the difference? So when a wife is being supported, a woman is being supported, of course the one will start understanding. And all are depends upon prarabdha. Let me not get into that. This is not our topic here, okay? However, here is very clear. There is dependence with reference to this body, and extension of the body is called wife or husband. Because without that, the person is not complete. This is the problem. And most of the time, people want to see the world through the eyes of somebody. People want to relate with others through somebody. Just look at your life. If you observe your life, in your life, one or two, maximum three people will be there. I also doubt that, okay? So, through this one or two people, you would like to relate with the whole world. And of course, these two people keep changing. That's another point, okay? That's the dangerous part. So, instead of you changing, you growing up, you keep changing the people, okay? How? So, when you start relating with the whole world with two people, now in that, wife or husband is primary. Can you see this point? Especially in a relationship. Always you try to relate with the world with keeping with wife or husband in front of you. However, definitely, if the wife says happy, you become happy. If husband says yes, you become happy. That's why you can see in Indian ad, I observe very nicely one ad I enjoy, okay? I can say this thing, okay? And how they think, this ad people, advertisement people. So one fellow is using shaving, okay, some ordinary blade or whatever, or a razor. So then the lady comes, can I buy the sari? Because he knows if he doesn't say, then it may get cut. Lady becomes very happy and starts buying. Then after that he changes this thing. Now lady comes, can I do that? Yes, yes, you can do that, okay, no problem. What I am highlighting here is how you try to look at your life depending upon somebody or through somebody's eyes. So that makes you, please understand, to lose not only your self-confidence, also you need to grow out of that. And if that person is not right person, if that person is a right person, absolute no problem. Imagine if that person is not right, means healthy, not healthy person. What will happen? Will it be a disaster or not? That is what happens to many people. That's why what he says, not only that, with reference to children, because you want to survive, you want to exist through your project. That's why everybody has got a dream project. So each one of us wants to be survive after our death. Swamiji also wants to survive, okay? They want to survive through their ashrams. So the ashram becomes, babies. At least if they survive through the teaching, that will be great, okay? so that you hand over the teaching to the next generation. So many ashram, there is no teaching. So only they busy in serving. So if the ashram is a service oriented ashram, what they want? So they want to survive through the ashram. However, he says, let us look at, you need to jitva, you need to really overcome, you need to win over. And of course, this munayaha yanti tat Vishnu paramam padam. Those who are able to win over this moha with reference to deha, dara and putra or sutarishu, with reference to body, wife or husband and children. Definitely, they gain paramam, the supreme abode. And here he said Vishnu, this use the word Vishnu, why? Two reasons. It is believed, even though Adi Shankaracharya is embodiment of Lord Shiva, but his presiding deity was Lord Vishnu. So wherever occasion comes, he doesn't forget to recollect his Ishtadevata. In fact, in many places he writes Saligrame, never he says Linge. Moment any point comes, Saligrame is very common, very often he uses this. And of course here we can look at Vishnu, Vyapakatvat, that which is all pervasive. So that means the absolute state, you can say Padam, Padam is the abode. So that means that which is absolute, that is called all pervasive, Vishnu. So the person will be one with all pervasive. That means already it is. So only when there is moha not there. Okay, if this is the case. But very easy, very simple. You are saying, but the body, attachment towards body is not that easy. How can it be handled? How can be looked at? Okay, I can look at my body, especially I know where are the wrong things in my body. Even though sometimes I show up, especially when I am having fever, I know what is happening to my body. And of course during Corona time, nobody will touch me. In fact, I am unwanted. And I cannot forget, in India, all over the world it has happened, that even if in the jail, we earlier used to say, if you are in the jail, people will not touch you. From a distance. Now you are worse than that, because they will keep you. You are not only you are inside the jail, the food will be thrown from a distance. Really, it's a very bad thing people have gone through. You cannot think of, because of small this virus, whatever has come or not. Now, how to look at this body? He says, look, the best way to get rid of moham is what? Seeing the limitations of it. So the job of the teaching is not to condemn anybody, to condemn anything. The problem is when a teacher when a teacher tries to make you to see the limitations of you by criticizing you, let us say, that time you think, oh, the teacher is critical of me. The teacher has got his superiority complex. The teacher is something wrong. It's not like that. The job of the teaching is to make you to see your limitation. And the more and more you see the limitations of any object, any people, including yourself, whether body, mind, complex, the more you will be free from attachment. Now few verses goes. Let us look at. Tvam mansa rudhirasnayu medo majasti sankulam purnam mutra purishabhyam stulam nindyamidam vapuh. Says, look, what you call as your bapuhu, body, idam bapuhu. So this body, okay, so nice, so beautiful, okay. And of course, you have all sort of things. If you are Indian, you can put sandal oil, okay? Sandal paste. Of course, you can put different chemicals and whatnot. Wow, the moment you pass by, people will think, where from you have come. Very nicely, Puja Swami used to say, I have never gone, I should go and then only I can experience this point. So Puja Swami used to say, look, in America, if you want, ride, free ride, if you ask for ride, nobody is going to give you ride, very rare. But it's very easy to get ride. Have a board, just now I had shower. Okay, in a paper, just hold. Just now I had my shower. 100% sure it seems that you will get a free ride. Coming back. So here is very nicely said that idam vapuhu. So what you call as this is your body. And of course this is a gross body, stoolam. He says nindyam, worthy to blame, worthy to look down. Swamiji, what are you talking? We are here so nicely sitting and listening to you, and you are saying to me, look down. This is not right. Okay, enough class, we'll go, we'll meet some other time. But what can I do? Because, he says beautifully, what you called as this body is beautiful or handsome, both way. It is mixed of what? Tvak, mamsa, rudhira, snayu, meda, majja, asti, put together. So that means, tvak means skin, mamsa, flesh, rudhira, blood, and of course, then comes snayu, different type of vessels, blood vessels, all the nerve system, snayu is a nerve system. Then meda, fat, majja, asti is bone, and majja is bone marrow. So as we were discussing, that idam shariram, this body, nindyam, is worthy to blame, not by others, by one's own self, okay? I don't have to blame your body, okay? Problem is, I praise your body, in return, you should praise my body. So it is not like that. Here I need to look at my body, how complicated is it? How starting with tvak, mamsa, rudhira, snayu, medo, majja, asti, sankulam. So if you look at very nicely, it's a very well packaged. Starting with the skin on the top. So if you remove skin, flesh, then after that if you remove, comes what? Blood mixed together. Then of course all these nerve systems, then fat, then bone and bone marrow. And that is not enough. Interestingly, as Purnam filled with what? Mutra Purusha Viham. This is the beautiful word, okay? So Mutra means urine. And Purisha Viham. Purisha means the waste product. Also is there packed, okay? So this is, in short, is my body. How beautiful is it? Can you see? But I look at my body, so nice. So how much time I spend to take care of my body? Hey, that means you should not look at your body, you should not take care. Hey, please, at least for others' sake, okay, please take care. Or else you will stink, okay? People will run away from you. That's another part, okay? That's why we say, be a trustee of the body. How? We'll see. Few verses are there, very nicely, okay? After some time to come. What is this body? Look at this. Panchikrutebhya bhutebhya स्थूलेभ्यः पूर्वकर्मणाम् समुत्पन्नमिदं स्थूलम् भोगायतनमात्मनः अवस्था जागरस्तस्य स्थूलार्थानुभवो यतः. This is what you call as this sthula sarira, this gross body. So that means this gross body is nothing. Stulebhya bhutebhya panchikritebhya. So this body is made up of 5 gross elements. And of course, through a process called panchikarana, grossification. And how it comes? This is very nicely how it happens. It happens because of purva karmana. This is the most important point, okay? So purva karmana means because of my past actions, previous life actions. So sanchita karma is involved. So based on the sanchita karma, purva karmana samutpannam idam sthulam sariramiti. So don't think that God created and put me in the hell, okay? Why did God put me in these difficulties? As though God did not have anything to do and God always wants to punish you. If I am in trouble, it is because of my purva karma. If I am in good, of course it is because of my purva karma. And he says, why this body is being formed? This happens to be called bhogayatanam. This is the most important point also. We have seen everything in details in Tattva Bodha. Bhoga ayatanam. So ayatanam means, please understand, this becomes that the instrument to enjoy. Without the presence of a physical body, nobody can enjoy. And of course, when enjoy means suffering also, okay? So instead of that, let us put experience. So don't look at only enjoyment, okay? Enjoyment / suffering. So insert called experience. Or it is the instrument of experience. And of course, says beautifully, because of that reason, jagara avasthayam atmanah tasya stulanarthu bhavah yatah. And of course, being this, when the person is in the waking state, the person is able to stularthanubhavah. The person is able to experience all the gross objects. That's why, because of the experience of or experiencing the gross objects, so there is either suffering or enjoyment. Fantastic. So if this is the case, that means we have to be very clear. The gross body is only meant to experience. And the experience that we have or we come across, whether it is painful or pleasurable, it is completely connected to my purva janma karma. That's why I cannot blame anybody or anything for my suffering. Especially, okay? Of course, if I am happy, I don't give credit to anybody, don't worry, okay? So that point I don't have to talk. Only when I suffer. So, and in Tamil they say pavam, 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 okay, you understand? All the words will come. I don't know how come this word pavam comes, okay? However, so if this is the case, let us look at the next verse. So few verses we can go ahead. Bahindriyai stula padartha sevam Strachandana striyadi vichitra rupam karoti jiva swayametadatmana tasmat prasastir vapushosya jagare. Says beautifully, nicely. Bahindriya Sthula Padartha Seva. So if you look at now this body, what does it do? When this body, interestingly, is there, and of course, Swayam Etad Atmana. Now, when there is identification with this body, and because of the identification of this body, and that too in the waking state, now this body has got its own thing to do. So what it does? So he highlights, it starts enjoying. So the moment I gets identified with this body, so enjoyment starts. How the enjoyment starts? Says beautifully, Bahindriya Sthula Padartha Seva. Now, because of this sense organs gets in contact with external sense objects, Bahi, external sense objects, Sthula Padartha Seva. Now, because of association of the sense objects and sense organs, and that too, of course, this gross objects, there is some type of enjoyment. And who are they? He uses what? Strak, Chandana, Stri, Adi. Three things he brings. Strak means garland. So garland stands for all sort of acknowledgement. So that means what? Wow, you are being respected. You are being appreciated. You are being acknowledged. You are being adored. So that is called garland. Then second one is called Chandana. So Chandana means not only it gives Chandana sandal paste, okay? Not only it gives fragrance, it really gives a cooling effect, soothing effect. That means that which gives you comfort. And the third one is called Stri Adi, wife, husband, etc. So when it talks about Stri Adi, there what happens? Here again also is being highlighted how the sense of dependence increases completely. Now, and he says beautifully, and of course, Vichitra Rupa, this jiva, this individual, the moment it gets identified with this body, and of course, because the moment it identifies with this body, then what happens? Automatically, the sense organs keeps in contact with the sense objects, that too external, and in the form of what? Stri, Chandana, and Strak, wife. I put it other way around. Strak, Chandana, Stri. Strak means garland, Chandana means sandal paste, and Stri Adi, wife, husband. Then automatically what happens? Vichitra Rupa. They become varieties. They appear in differently and different ways. Then of course what happens? Now the person either starts enjoying or suffering, experiencing, okay? And this happens when only it happens asya vapusaha. If you look at this, is happens only jagara avasthaya, in the waking state. Then you can say, look, sometimes also I suffer or I enjoy in my dream. We'll see some other time, okay? Hold on, okay? So dream is not an issue for you, unless you are not, okay? Only nuts have problem with reference to dream, because they will go to dream analyzer, okay? Hey, first analyze your waking state, okay? So they are so fed up of, they don't have strength to look at the waking state. They want to spend money, time to analyze their dream. There are many people. And especially in the website nowadays, in the YouTube and everywhere, if you see yoga in dream, what is the meaning behind it? If you see water body, what is the meaning behind it? Anyway, let me not get into it. It's good. Now let us look at the next verse. With this we'll stop it, okay? Sarvapi bahya samsaraha purushasya yadashrayah viddhi dehamidam sthulam gruhavat deha vedhinah gruhavat gruhamedhinah. What I was trying to highlight very nicely. With this, we stop. See it here. We stop it. So if you look at very nicely, you need to know vidhi idam. What idam? Stula sariram iti. Bastula deham. So may you know this gross body as what? Gruhavat, like a house. Means, how is it? Says, look, for a gruha medhina, for a householder, how the house is? So also, sarvapi bahya samsara purushasya yadasrayah. Even though the whole entire world that you are dealing with, external world especially, you are dealing with because of this body. Because everything, Purusha, the person, your whole world is only connected to this physical body. That's why you are so much dependent upon it. But remember, may you know, even if the whole world is depending upon or relating to your physical body, but may you know, as a householder looks at a house, so also you need to look at your body in that way. Can you see this point? Number one, a householder can stay in the house 24 hours. If a householder completely gets connected to the house all the time, let me do this, let me do that, let me do this thing, interior, all these things, how long will you be able to do? New house is 1 month, 2 months, okay? Unless you have some problem, okay? You cannot. Sometime or other you will get fed up. Don't worry, when you fed up, you can go to some other house, okay? To breathe again and come back. So what I am trying to highlight here is how the householder cannot and need not stay in the same house all the time, but cannot neglect the house either, but has to take care of the house. This is the point, nothing else, okay? You cannot completely engrossed, engaged, caged, remain all the time in the house. Nor you can neglect, nor you cannot visit, because if you try to visit after 1 month, 2 months, you will see a lot of mess. That's not allowed. So also this physical body. Even though the whole world is connected to me because of this physical body, still I need to give due respect to my physical body. That's why if I am more engrossed with my physical body, my mind will become gross. Can you see this point? At the same time, if I try to neglect my physical body, mind also will be insecure because disease and other things will come. So here I need to learn to manage, like how a householder takes care of the house. Not too much engrossed. And we say very nicely, the gruhastha, the householder job is to maintain the house not for one's own self, but for the guest. That's why you can see any householder enjoys more when guests are there. Why all over the world people are going crazy? Because nobody visits nobody because of the corona. Once people start visiting, do you feel the difference or not? In fact, if you look at your house, own house, if nobody comes to visit you, will you feel like cleaning clearly? Only when people come, then you start cleaning. I cannot forget with this, I'll stop it. Especially when I come any place, you should see 15 days before how people are busy to clean, okay? So even if I stay for 1 day or half day, makes no difference. So prior to that, how many days people spend in cleaning. I enjoy that, okay? Please understand. So, as a householder takes care of the house, let me take care of my body. More of it we'll see tomorrow. Please close your eyes. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.